On September 28, 1995, the video game developer Sega announced plans for a new ambitious
God, it was
project.
so good.
Their goal was to create location-based themed entertainment centers, a hybrid of amusement parks and arcades, and place them throughout the United States. The concept was simple enough. Instead of putting arcades into malls, they wanted to put malls into arcades. In order to
Would love to do it with
they would
Moon
create
Moon as well,
state-of-the-art
PogChamp.
games
I'm
and
definitely up
attractions
for it.
and insert them
Thanks
into
to
complexes
Resubsire and
complete with small
Cro-Magnon.
shops and food courts. Sega had tested the idea in Japan in the mid-'80s, and reactions had been positive. The industry seemed promising in the United States as well.
They had so
with
many
chains
cool
such as
games.
Dave & Buster's finding success with a similar
There's a game
concept.
where it was Buzz
Sega
Lightyear,
had
you
the
get in a car and you
resources to
shoot
physically build
bowling
indoor
balls at
amusement
other
centers,
cars.
but it couldn't hurt to partner
I mean,
with
they
a
weren't
company
bowling
that could
balls, but
drive
they were
the
as heavy as
project
fucking bowling
creatively.
balls.
They would find a
Sound like
partner
it
in a familiar
shot by a
entertainment
fucking tank
company
shell.
that starts with a D. That's right, DreamWorks. Sega and DreamWorks announced their partnership to create a chain of indoor amusement centers named GameWorks, with filmmaker Steven Spielberg providing significant creative input. GameWorks would grow over the next 2 decades, opening over 30 locations both in the United States and around the world. The chain sounds a lot like another venture attempted by an even larger creative force. The Walt Disney Company and its subsidiary, Disney Regional Entertainment, would develop an indoor
Crazy
entertainment center
Terex
for
and Big
families
Sub Shinobi.
named DisneyQuest that would debut in 1998. However, Disney Regional Entertainment was not even created until over a year after the GameWorks announcement. So did Disney copy the idea? It's certainly not the first time.
Yeah,
they've
fuck yeah, they
concepts
did.
Under the
It's
helm of
Disney.
CEO Michael Eisner.
They'll
question
steal shit, who
is,
gives a fuck?
Why? Out of all of the entertainment
That's what
concepts
they do,
sprouting
baby.
up in the 90s, why GameWorks? Most of the locations and attractions that Eisner imitated posed a direct threat to the amount of tourists that would be visiting Disney's parks.
The birthplace
But
of
GameWorks
Let's
wasn't
Party,
stealing any
Party,
business
Party
from Disney.
Tonight. Yes.
The locations hadn't even been announced.
Fuck
So why
yes.
expand into an emerging...
I still have that.
small
Hold
town?
on, hold on. Let me. This is one of my prized treasures. Oh yeah. This is where it all began. The humble beginnings of Charles's music career. DisneyQuest. Let's party, party, party tonight. Oh, it's so good. Buy 6 pounds of chocolate. We're gonna lose control. Yes, sir, and lose control we did. That place is fucking buried now. Play it? I don't have a CD player. I mean, I made a video with it. I can just play the excerpt, I guess. The song is a banger. Like, this is a song that you'll be singing all night. The title... here. Oh, yeah. This song slaps. This song fucking slaps so hard. Woo! So at DisneyQuest you could make your own songs, and this is what I came up with. Thanks to give sub Jerry, and the resub Cropin, and Fizzy. Let me give sub Terex. And a DJ too! Uh-huh. Is this actually you singing? I was 8 years old. Yes, it was me singing. Such a good song. I mean, that song is timeless. That's up there with the greats, like the Bohemian Rhapsody for kids. God, what a good song. Thank you, DisneyQuest.
Take on a company that has more experience and resources in that field. That risk does not seem to make sense from a business perspective, but it makes perfect sense if you look at it from a completely different angle. Who founded GameWorks? Sega and DreamWorks. Who founded DreamWorks?
No, obviously it's not
Steven
fucking me
Spielberg,
singing. Christ,
David
it was a
Geffen, and
phonetic
Jeffrey
alphabet.
Katzenbach,
They had like
the former head
some
of Walt
chain-smoking
Disney
dude
Studios
who
that
could hit a few
constantly butted
notes
heads
that
with
would be like a
Eisner and had
stock
been
sound
ousted
you
from the
pick.
company a year
And then you
prior.
tell him what to
Disney
say
Regional
off of some
Entertainment was
sentences that
in
you
part
choose
created
from.
as an easy way to expand the Disney
Obviously, it's
parks
not fucking me
experience
singing. I
to
was 8
smaller
years old.
cities throughout the United
Literally 8
States.
years old.
But there was something bigger going on here. Eisner was spiraling, and he was taking the Walt Disney Company down with him.
Thanks to resub Matthew. And the bits Los. Sample it for a gentleman song? I actually wanted to. I still do. I wanted to turn it into a Doom-style song and come up with like a crazy, violent, hyper-hardcore, gory music video for it.
Take a trek through a prehistoric jungle.
Yeah, it's something we're still probably gonna do.
A house that has not yet been built.
Would hopefully be a collab project with the Browning. The guy behind the Browning is such a good guy. I'd like to, we're planning a collab at some point.
You're gone, John. Your history.
It's a computer-generated world where you see and move and feel. Will real life ever be the same?
Though it had been implemented into specialized use for fields such as medicine and engineering
Things
since
get
the
to begin
1970s,
Taxix and the
virtual
Resub
reality
Solaris.
technology wasn't seen as ready for consumers until the 1990s. One of the first commercial uses of the technology would be the insertion of virtual reality pods into arcades, malls, and movie theaters. These had horrible graphics, constrained movement, high costs, and generalized filth. The system in one game
So not
could
much has
easily
changed.
cost around $50,000 to purchase.
Take that,
and
VR.
generally cost the consumer around $5 to play.
Now, VR is kind of
which would be
wacky these
closer
days,
to
actually. That's just
$100,000 to
disingenuous.
purchase and $10 to
VR is
play
fucking
when
nuts.
adjusted for inflation. With the high costs involved, VR cafes began to open across the country, allowing patrons to try out the latest in VR technology. While excitement around VR remained, the
Here's a
boom of
resub
VR
Cam
arcade
Mac,
games tapered off by
resub
the
Aces in
mid-90s.
Space,
By
Infinity,
then,
and Cynic.
the idea of VR had caught the attention of video game console producers, such as Sega and Nintendo, both of which attempted to create VR headsets for home use, both meeting less than ideal results. By the late 90s, the future of the medium was bleak, but GameWorks, and therefore Disney, saw potential. And
There was a
virtual
lot of
reality
VR
and
games at
simulators
DisneyQuest.
would be the main attractions of
By
both
that I
of the
mean
playing
3.
complexes.
There were 3.
On June 20th, 1995, Disney announced that the Walt Disney World Resort Shopping District, the Disney Village Marketplace, would receive a major renovation. In September of 1997, it would be renamed to Downtown Disney. In its 20-year existence, the marketplace had already undergone a few major expansions. The most notable of these was the addition of Pleasure Island, an elaborate-themed nightclub district that debuted in 1989. This divided the complex in two. with the
Downtown
other
Disney
section
was really
being
cool.
named the
It's called Disney
Marketplace.
Springs
These
now.
two sections saw their theming slightly adjusted in order to fit the Downtown Disney renovation, and a new area, named Downtown Disney West Side, opened as well. This new section would include a Cirque du Soleil show, a Planet Hollywood, and a ginormous indoor theme park. DisneyQuest opened its doors
Here's a
on
Prime
June
Kimmy.
19th, 1998. There was little build-up to its debut, and the structure was nearly finished a
so
year prior
good.
to its opening, with Disney refusing to confirm or release any information, not even announcing its official name until a few months before. The public and the press were confused on what exactly would be inside of the large building when it opened, and Disney Regional Entertainment seemed the most
Here's
confused
the Prime
of all.
Trucks.
The subsidiary's
Rip, it's
president,
coming well.
Art Levitt, acknowledged that the team was having a difficult time describing DisneyQuest. It was more than an arcade, but it wasn't really a theme park either. When questioned in the months leading up to its opening, Levitt and other executives referred to
That
the
game
complex
sucked
as the
ass.
ultimate interaction.
This game is dog shit. This was like the central focal point when you first enter DisneyQuest. On the first floor you'd come in, this is the first thing you'd see. It's like this dog shit ass fucking pinball hockey hybrid game that is just completely rigged. At random it would choose one of these little pods here to win, and no matter what you did, that pod would just fucking win. It was terrible.
Interactive adventure, which means almost nothing if you think about it. Disney provided a few press releases and promotional material, but overall, the debut of Disney Regional Entertainment's flagship concept was surprisingly quiet. Still, in the summer of 1998, a large crowd gathered to enter DisneyQuest for the first time, not sure what to expect from the new experience.
Here's a gift sub Jordy.
Hello, I'm Michael Eisner. I'm here in the virtual reality studio where Disney Imagineers are creating a whole new world. of
Oh
stories.
yeah, they are. It's a
Tiny
beautiful
TV
world
screens
too.
Inside this headset actually allow you to step into the world of Aladdin on a magic carpet ride. It's called virtual. It's a world which only exists
Yeah!
in reality.
Look at how
Unlike
cool the
film or
world
television,
is.
You see not just what's on the screen,
It's so
but what's
full of
above,
life.
around and behind you, and you control when you return to the real world. I wonder where the exit is. Oh well, welcome to the wonderful world of Disney.
The building was a huge 5-story, 100,000 square foot
Oh, yeah.
blue box. On the front and back of the building, there was a large set of Mickey ears with DisneyQuest in large print. The building had no
I might even be in this
adding
video
to
at
the
some point. I
mystery
fucking
surrounding
lived
its
here for a
contents.
while.
Concept art for the complex
They
gave the
gave you
building
like a
slightly
season
different,
pass that was
more
just free entry for like a whole
three-dimensional
fucking
style,
year
also
for
incorporating
$100
a
or some
proposed
shit.
monorail
It's
track
crazy.
to the downtown Disney complex. Exterior ticket booths were located to the left of the entrance. Guests would enter on the ground floor, a simple yet elegant lobby. There were bronze busts of
Exit
famous
Tier 1
Disney
Red
characters
Cherry and the
placed
Prime
throughout
Fire
the
Beast.
room.
And the
The
Reset
centerpiece
McLovin
was
and
an
Retro.
artificial sky, with supercalifragilisticexpialidocious surrounding the trim of the faux window. This was the setup to the illusion that the
Oh.
elevators were actually flying you to
Holy
a new
shit.
land. It was a subtle and fun
Forgot
touch.
about the gold
At the end
elevators.
of the lobby were the turnstiles to get on the elevator. Once through, guests boarded the highly themed lifts, named the Cyberlators. These
Thanks to the
featured
big
an
Tier 2
in-route
Undead
show,
Chum.
starring the genie from Aladdin.
Welcome, thank you.
This 45-second video explains to guests that they are being transported not just to the next level, but to a new location entirely. After this, the elevator doors opened, and guests entered DisneyQuest. Like the classic castle parks around the world, DisneyQuest was designed with a central hub, known as Ventureport. Upon entering the main area, guests could see a structure.
I hope
that
he goes
appeared to
through the
be a
majority of the
futuristic
rides. I
telescope.
remember, like the
Connected
big
to
rides, I
Ventureport
remember
were
most
4
of them.
bridges, known as gateway branches, leading out to each themed zone. These were Replay Zone, Score Zone, Create Zone, and Explore Zone. The Replay Zone, located on floors 3, 4, and 5, featured Midway on the Moon, a classic arcade where guests
Yeah,
could play
this was
games
the most
like
boring
Pac-Man,
part.
air hockey, skee-ball, and
Yeah,
Tron.
kinda
An
sucked.
attraction called Buzz
Kinda
Lightyear's
sucked.
Astro Blasters
Banger.
also resided in this area.
Banger.
This was much different than the Buzz Lightyear dark rides that can be found at Disney parks throughout the world.
That is a
Disney Quest
full-blown
version was an
banger
attraction
alert
that
right there.
combined bumper cars with dodgeball. Each vehicle contained 2 guests. One would drive the car, and the other would fire dodgeballs at the other vehicles. The next zone
Those were
was
fucking
Score Zone,
cannonballs is what
also
you were
located on
firing.
floors 3, 4, and 5.
Shit
The
was
main game in
nutty.
this area was the Mighty Ducks Pinball Slam. Guests would stand on platforms and lean in different directions, controlling
sucked.
virtual pinball on a large screen. Another game in the Score Zone was one of
Oh,
Disney's
yeah.
premier VR attractions,
Mhm.
Ride the Comics. Guests would don large visors and hold motion-detecting sabers, swinging them violently as they fought.
Oh,
villains named
yeah.
Superheroes.
Now we're feeling it.
There were multiple bays.
Urgot
Bays
was in
looked
this
like
game as well, by
spaceships.
the way.
The last attraction in the Score Zone was Invasion, an extraterrestrial.
Riot Games ripped off Ride the Comics. Urgot was the main villain in Ride the Comics. Hold on, let me see if I can still find the pictures. Damn, it doesn't have the boss battle. Yeah, one of the main bosses that you'd team up on in Ride the Comics was quite literally Urgot. Well, this is sad. They didn't even, like, put their artwork online for prosperity's sake. It's just dead now. I can't even find, like, the promotional pieces. Well, I guess this is as close as we get. Yeah, this was one of the bosses. Quite literally was Urgot. He had, like, a little walker that he'd walk around on. That's a fucking shame.
Alien Encounter, an extension to the Magic Kingdom attraction that had opened 3 years prior.
Is it 2
Invasion
Storm?
continued the
And
world
resub
building that
Grey May?
extraterrestrial Alien Encounter began. In the game's
Next to
story,
the Tier 1
a space
Clazen
outpost
Pickle.
filled with American colonists is being invaded by alien monsters. In a moment of desperation, the President of the United States enlists the help of L.C. Clench,
Oh,
the chairman
yeah.
of Excess Tech, played once again by Jeffrey Jones.
Fuck
In a pre-show
yeah.
video,
Another
Clench
good one.
describes his new military technology, the XS-5000, that requires a pilot and multiple gunmen to operate. After the pre-show, players would enter the XS-5000 and be teleported
Thanks
to
for
the
some
planet.
cat T-Dog in the Prime
Operating 2
Pasoka.
joysticks, the gunman had the ability to shoot lasers or missiles, as well as capture colonists.
Oh.
The pilot would navigate the ship around and eventually back to the teleporter.
This is so nostalgic,
and also
holy
trigger
shit.
the ship to jump to get
Holy
out of
shit.
tough situations. The immersive experience used 3D graphics and a variety of
There's also a
multi-angle
pilot as
screens.
well.
During the
One of your
4-minute
friends
game,
pilots it.
players would run into some familiar-looking monsters, with grotesque designs similar to those found in the Magic Kingdom attraction. The third themed zone was the Create
Son
Zone,
of a bitch,
located
it's
on the
so
second
good.
floor. This area featured the Animation Academy, an interactive demonstration
Thanks again,
similar to
Subigin
those
Dorm.
found at other Disney parks. In that, participants
That'd
were
be cool,
given a
Evan.
tutorial on how to draw Disney's animated characters.
This sucked.
One difference
This
was the
was boring.
DisneyQuest version utilized digital touchscreens, while the others used paper. Due to this difference, the DisneyQuest attraction was only able to accommodate 18 guests at a time. Other attractions in the Create Zone included Radio Disney Songmaker.
Yeah, that's the place. That's where this banger was brewed. Let's party, party, party tonight. That came from the Songmaker booths there. They should have named one of them after me for the fire I created in this laboratory. It's almost fucking insulting that my name isn't on one of these booths.
which allowed guests to create their own original song by mixing different styles, sounds, effects, lyrics, and more Sid's Create-A-Toy, a Toy Story-inspired area that let guests
Mediocre.
combine different toy parts to create a new
Wasn't
one,
horrible.
and Magic Mirrors,
This one
which allowed
sucked.
guests to take a picture of themselves and manipulate it into a cartoon.
It was just literally
The most popular
Photoshop.
attraction in the Create Zone was Cyberspace Mountain.
Mhm.
Cyberspace Mountain was a simulator ride in which guests could design their own roller coaster.
So
It
good.
began with a tutorial
So
presented
good.
by Bill Nye the Science Guy,
Fucking
explaining
Bill.
to riders how to properly construct their coaster. Cyberspace Mountain allowed guests to ride their creations in a simulator car capable of tilting, turning, and even flipping them
Oh,
upside
it was
down.
so
A more advanced
good.
version of this concept would later appear in Disney parks as the
Son
Sum of
of
All
a
Thrills,
bitch.
a 2009
It was
addition
cool.
to Innovations in Epcot. The last zone was the Explore Zone.
But it was kind of
located
Weenie
on
Hut
floors
Jr. because
1
if you
and 2.
made the ride
Guests
too
could get to the
extreme,
area
they
either
wouldn't
by
let
the
you ride
stairs
it.
or
So if
from
you
the
did like
first
6
floor,
corkscrews back to
Aladdin-themed
back, they
Cave of
wouldn't let you
Wonders
ride it
slide.
because the
However,
G-forces would
this
kill,
was closed
like
after
actually
less than
kill
a year
you.
of operation. The Explore Zone had 3 large attractions that were technological marvels for their time. The first attraction was Aladdin's Magic Carpet Ride. This attraction was another VR game that required a headset. Guests would sit on a motorcycle-like seat,
There's
and
recent
after
Thomas
putting on
and
the
Ibom.
headset, would find themselves magically transported to Agrabah.
I
Guests
hope
would
you
ride
like
on
it,
the
Chris.
magic carpet while attempting
Jujutsu
to release
Kaisen's
the
great.
genie, who was trapped in the Cave of Wonders. The second attraction, Hercules in the Underworld, was a 3D attraction that took guests on an adventure with the characters from the film.
This one just
Groups of
wasn't good
players,
at all.
each with their own joystick, steered Pegasus and the heroes in an attempt to defeat Hades. The third immersive attraction was
This
the
one was
virtual
okay.
jungle
This one was
cruise.
kind of cool.
Guests would board an inflatable raft,
You'd row and
sitting
shit,
on top of a large pad
yell
in
at your
front of a
mom for
screen.
not putting her
The game
fucking back
started
into
in the
it.
Jungle Cruise at the Magic Kingdom before a virtual skipper sends guests to the age of the dinosaurs. The skipper accidentally drops the device that controls the time machine, and guests paddle down the river in an attempt to grab it. The pad below reacted to the player's paddles and the
They
flow of
spray
the
you with
water to
toilet water
maximize
too.
routes.
Yeah, you get hit with
A
raw
less
sewage
immersive
to really
attraction
get
in
immersed.
Explore Zone was Treasure of the Incas, which had guests drive toy trucks through a maze in order to win prizes.
Kind of
The
boring,
drivers
wasn't
operated
great.
the vehicles on a screen, and a teammate that could see the top of the maze would yell directions at them. DisneyQuest also had a few restaurants that guests could eat at. These counter
And they were
service vehicles were
good.
Food Quest, the Wonderland
They only like
Cafe,
sold French
and the
fries, and that was
Cheesecake
about it.
Factory Express, a smaller scale Cheesecake Factory concept exclusive to DisneyQuest. Once guests had
Thanks for
explored
some
the entire
apathy and
complex,
toast.
they would walk down a spiral staircase and exit through the first floor gift shop. Despite the lack
Very
of
hard to
marketing,
find shit like this now,
DisneyQuest at
Selden.
Downtown Disney was a success, sucking tourists and shoppers through its shiny new gates. However, Disney Regional Entertainment was not surprised or impressed by the crowds it initially drew. After all, it was located within the Walt Disney World Resort, catering to a dedicated, if not captive, market. In fact,
And
it seems
Charlie,
that Levitt
they
and Disney
marketed
Regional
directly to
Entertainment didn't
Charles.
view DisneyQuest
I
Orlando
loved
as the
it.
chain's official debut. It was a mere test for the planned regional complexes, and the next DisneyQuest to open would be given the fanfare one would expect from Disney.
Hi, everybody. I'm Janet Davies.
And I'm Jim Rose, and welcome to one of the most incredible places in Chicago this year. It's called
Chicago?
DisneyQuest, and it's located on the corner of
Wait, they
Ohio
opened up
and
more than
Rush in
one
Chicago,
DisneyQuest?
just one block west of Michigan Avenue.
JR, right behind us is a 5-story building that is an indoor interactive theme park.
Ooh.
It is full of high-tech virtual reality games and gadgetry.
Thanks, Resub John
I
G.
tell you, it is 90,000 square feet of pure fun, good family fun, and I guarantee there is no place in the United States like this except
Oh,
in
and of course it'll
Orlando,
be a
where
major
the
plot
original
point coin.
DisneyQuest
And yeah, it was
is.
wonderful.
Before DisneyQuest Orlando opened,
Of course I've
DisneyQuest
seen that as well,
Chicago was
Blood.
announced.
That is a
This would
classic.
be the first of hopefully many DisneyQuests throughout the world, with Disney projecting around 30 locations.
Holy
DisneyQuest
shit.
Chicago opened a year after Orlando's, debuting on June 16th, 1999. The complex,
Oh my
located on the corner
God!
of Rush in Ohio, was given
Buzz
a large
Lightyear just
opening
blows up.
celebration, with an entire television special documenting the ceremonies. The building was similar to DisneyQuest Orlando in that it was 5 floors, but it was slightly smaller at 90,000 square feet as opposed to Orlando's 100,000. Having DisneyQuest in Chicago was an ambitious step for Disney, but it was also a decision that made perfect sense. Chicago was the third most populated American city, and it was also the birthplace of Walt Disney. It was far enough away from both Orlando
Who
and
cares if
Anaheim to
Walt was
deliver
born
Disney to
there?
an entirely new market.
Who's
And
gonna go?
DreamWorks was
His
set
kids?
to open a location just outside of the city in the summer of 1999 as well, but that was probably just a coincidence. The main goal of DisneyQuest Chicago was to become the Magic Kingdom
There's a
of the
Prime
Midwest.
Lizard,
Due to
and
the lack
Bulba,
of
the
space for the
Resub
Chicago
Mariner.
location, some of the features and games were forced to have fewer stations, but the main layout and attractions remained the same. While many locals were excited to have a Disney theme park come to their backyard, experts and journalists were more skeptical. Apart from the criticism of the complex's cheesy architecture not fitting in with the surrounding area,
True,
they weren't
very
sure
out of
whether
place.
Disney would see a return on the investment. Interest in both GameWorks and DisneyQuest was dwindling fast. The ever-changing landscape of technology was diverting consumer focus to the internet and home consoles. And while the
Thanks,
public
Resub
was
Blind
eager
Cat.
to experience both indoor amusement center concepts, the chances of locals becoming regulars was falling.
Where are the
by
gamers at?
This meant that DisneyQuest Chicago would
Let's
have
see
to
some
rely more on
gamers.
tourists, which did not bode well for a large-scale regional expansion. While critics lacked confidence in DisneyQuest, Disney had far too much. The head of attendance calculating at the Walt Disney Company estimated that around 3 million guests would visit DisneyQuest per year.
Pretty good.
However, this would have been nearly impossible, as proved by this quote from a 1999 article from the Chicago Tribune. The average length of stay is in the 2.5 to 3 hour range, so to cram in 3 million visitors a year while maintaining some crowd control, DisneyQuest would have to stay open about 17 hours a day.
Shit, who did the
every
math?
day, and remain
Redditor?
at full capacity the
No,
entire
they
time.
killed
Apparently,
DisneyQuest
no one had
with
learned
math.
anything from the opening of Club Disney, which learned nothing from the opening of Euro Disneyland. In late 1998, Disney had announced that a third DisneyQuest would be built in Philadelphia.
Exit
This
Tier 1
location would have
Siren
been
and
located
Reset
on the
Pot.
popular Market Street as part of an
We can check it
ambitious
out, Bill, sure.
redevelopment of the area. The city was thrilled to be chosen by Disney, and by the time of DisneyQuest Chicago's debut, the space was being cleared in preparation for construction and was set to open in the summer of 2000. However, production delays pushed the project back to the summer of 2002. In late 2000, both DisneyQuest Orlando and DisneyQuest Chicago
Resub
received a
Takai.
brand new attraction. Hercules in the Underworld was replaced by Pirates
Yes.
of the Caribbean Battle
This
for
was a
Buckingham
much better
Gold,
version.
which featured large screens surrounding a miniature pirate ship that guests would
This one
board.
was cool.
Each player would have a physical cannon that would fire digital cannonballs at enemy ships. A more advanced version of the game's technology would later be used in Toy Story.
Oh, I don't know what to
Midway
tell you,
Mania.
Monkey. I'm sorry.
Players would also encounter a serpent that looked very similar to the Lego model that opened at the downtown Disney Lego store in 1997. Guests playing the game would have to defeat the Jolly Roger, which was not an easy task, and the majority of players would lose the game, with their boat sinking. in
Yeah,
the
this
water.
game was hard
It
as
is
fuck.
worth
This was
noting
like
that
the
both
Dark
Pirates of
Souls of
Caribbean and
dead
Aladdin
VR
DisneyQuest
games.
were designed by Randy Posh, a virtual reality specialist and professor famous for his talk and book, The Last Lecture, which he produced before passing away in 2008. The new Pirates of the Caribbean game temporarily reinvigorated excitement in the Chicago
Thanks to the resub
location,
Hank,
which
the
had
gift sub
already waned
Gandalf,
in its 18 months of
the resub
operation.
Luca and Prime Hugh.
Unfortunately, it was too late. DisneyQuest Chicago surprisingly did not live up to Disney's unrealistic expectations, and Disney announced that it would close the location on September 4th, 2001.
What?
The official reasoning was that the complex was simply not generating enough revenue for the company to justify
It
paying the
lasted a year and a
expensive rent
half?
of downtown Chicago. Also, the complex was diverting a massive amount of time and money that Disney and the Imagineers could be spending on more promising and more profitable projects. On top of this, reviews of the Chicago location had not been stellar. The lines were long, the price of admission, $16 for 2.5 hours of games, was too expensive for
That's
many, and the
pretty
complex did not
good, to be
deliver the Disney
fair.
magic that the theme parks could.
The old
DisneyQuest
magical
Orlando
Disney
complemented
Quest?
the resort
I mean,
well,
shit.
But DisneyQuest Chicago, alone in the heart of a busy city, felt cold and corporate rather than warm and colorful. Along with the announcement that DisneyQuest Chicago would be closed, Disney Regional Entertainment announced that DisneyQuest Philadelphia would be scrapped. Disney essentially abandoned the prime real estate in the middle of construction,
Really?
leaving only a large plot of dirt. Locals
Nice.
coined
Classic
it the Disney
Disney.
Hole, and to this day, it has not been developed further than a paved parking lot. This, along with the closure of Chicago, slightly tarnished Disney's
Thanks to
reputation
resub Cries
in
and
both
the Prime
regions.
Spastic.
Despite the cancellation of all future
Thank
plans
you,
for
B-Man.
DisneyQuest,
Hope the bad times behind you
DisneyQuest
soon,
Orlando
man.
remained open, receiving little attention from the company and little to no updates. Apart from the closure of the Cave of Wonders slide and the addition of Pirates of the Caribbean Battle for Buccaneer Gold, the Treasure of the Incas interactive maze game would be closed after a few years of operation. Cell phone frequencies caused interference with the remote-controlled trucks, and on one occasion, one of the vehicles burst into flames.
That's
which
fucking
is terrifying
awesome.
considering that this occurred in a building that had no windows and a main transportation system of a magic elevator. The space was eventually
It is a
filled
very
with
magic
Let's Go
elevator,
Jungle
though. They would
arcade
get you out.
games. The Magic Mirrors attraction closed in 2005 and was replaced with additional seating. And perhaps the most disappointing removal was the Cheesecake Factory Express around 2008. In 2011, the Cyberlator's screens were turned off, and they became just regular elevators.
Yeah.
A few years after this, to help promote the film Wreck-It Ralph, a large structure of the title character as well as multiple Fix-It Felix games were added to the complex.
Yeah, that
These,
helped Wreck-It
along with
Ralph.
A few minor additions and
That's
a
why
few
it did
major
so well.
closures toward the end of its lifespan were the only changes DisneyQuest Orlando saw. The subsidiary Disney Regional Entertainment lasted until 2010, when it closed 5 ESPN zones and sold 2 more. The branch dissolved, with DisneyQuest being absorbed into Disney Parks and Resorts.
God
The
damn
indoor
it.
theme park was left to die, with Disney giving discounts on tickets and sometimes offering them for free with certain vacation packages. Finally, on June 30th, 2015, it was reported that DisneyQuest was going to close at the end of 2016 to be replaced with a new
was
NBA
sad.
themed attraction. However, 2016 came and went, with DisneyQuest staying open the entire year.
Really? Wait,
It would be
what?
until January 30th, 2017 that Disney would announce that DisneyQuest's final day was to be July 2nd. To commemorate
I
the
thought it closed in
closing,
2016.
Apple discounts made ticket prices, which had increased slightly in its nearly 2 decades of operation, exactly $19.98, as a tribute to the year that it opened. After 19 years of operation, DisneyQuest closed its doors. The building sat abandoned for 1 month, until demolition began in August.
Oh.
Construction has begun on the NBA Experience,
Ugh.
which is set to open in the summer of 2019.
And it sucks.
The
It's
closure
trash.
of DisneyQuest Orlando,
Garbage.
along with the recent closure of Anaheim's ESPN Zone, brought an end to the
Thanks, Reese
ventures of
Tristan.
Disney Regional Entertainment, with every location of all 3 chains now defunct. But what about Michael Eisner?
That's an interesting
he seemed
idea,
to be
Peter.
largely absent from the development and debut of DisneyQuest, unlike other projects, such as Euro Disneyland and Disney's America, where he was on the front lines promoting and explaining the new parks. He did endorse DisneyQuest in newspapers and a few television interviews, but it seemed to be
Those
less
are
of a
typically more
priority for him,
sad, G.
and certainly not one of his passion projects. When the initial concept was pitched to him in the mid-90s, he told the Imagineers to, quote, "kill the project. Why should we go forward with it? So what if we can make money?" The exact reasoning for the strong reaction and what eventually changed his mind is hard to say. Maybe it
He
was as
just
selfish as the
hated
announcement
gamers.
of GameWorks, in his desire to take on his former partner and new rival. Maybe it was as innocent as the Imagineers strengthening the concept and presenting the promises of the new technology. Either way, the lack of attention on DisneyQuest was typical of Eisner's second era. 1994 was the watershed. Frank Wells' passing, Euro Disneyland's failure, the defeat in Virginia, and his own health issues had turned the ambitious, creative executive into an unfocused, fickle, and often angry CEO. The
Damn.
development of DisneyQuest was indicative of
Fucking
the state
blasted
of the company
Eisner.
after the tumultuous 7 years since Euro Disneyland's opening, and it was a mere preview of the mind-boggling creative choices and shocking business decisions that the next 7 years would bring. Their renaissance was over, and Disney was about to enter the 2000s. Buckle up.
Ooh.
This is going to be a bumpy ride.
Oh, I'm on the edge of my fucking seat now. I don't care what anyone says. DisneyQuest, fucking paradise. That place was incredible. Except if you went there as an adult in like 2015, because that shit was just sad. That was a hellscape.